All right, today we're going to look at the second half of Numbers chapter 21. We're going to discuss God determining things before they happen. We'll start at verse 21. Numbers chapter 21, verse 21 says, Then Israel sent messengers to Sihon, king of the Amorites, saying, Let me pass through your land. We will not turn aside into field or vineyard. We will not drink the water of a well. We will go by the king's highway until we have passed through your territory. But Sihon would not allow Israel to pass through his territory. He gathered all his people together and went out against Israel to the wilderness and came to Jahaz, fought against Israel. And Israel defeated him with the edge of the sword and took possession of his land from the Arnon to the Jabbok, as far as to the Ammonites, for the border of the Ammonites was strong. And Israel took all these cities, and Israel settled in all the cities of the Amorites and Heshbon and in all its villages. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab and taken all his land out of his hand, as far as the Arnon. Therefore the ballad singers say, Come to Heshbon, let it be built, let the city of Sihon be established. For fire came out from Heshbon, flame from the city of Sihon. It devoured Ar of Moab, and swallowed the heights of Arnon. Woe to you, O Moab! You are undone, O people of Chemosh. He has made his sons fugitives, and his daughters captives to an Amorite king, Sihon. So we overthrew them. Heshbon, as far as Dibon, perished, and we laid waste as far as Nophah. Fire spread as far as Medeba. There's an interesting note in the Faith Life Study Bible. It says, moving north along the eastern edge of Moab, Israel requests passage through the Amorite kingdom of Sihon. As with Edom, the king refuses and meets Israel with an army. However, while Israel turned away and avoided armed conflict with Edom, they engaged the Amorites and conquered their territory. Israel's request for safe passage indicates they initially had no interest in possessing any territory in the Transjordan. The region was not part of the land originally promised to Abraham. Numbers 32 also indicates that had the tribes of Reuben and Gad not asked to settle in these areas, they would have been left empty. Deuteronomy 3 offers more information about Sihon and his cohort Og, king of Bashan. Deuteronomy 3:2-8 indicate that Sihon and Og were both kings of the Amorites, a people described as unusually tall. Deuteronomy 3:11 links Og to the giant Rephaim, who is connected to the Anakim, the tall people Israel feared. So we see the people they end up fighting here are also those quote-unquote tall people that they refused to enter the promised land for fear of them 38 years earlier. Right? And remember, when they sent a large army as a show of force to not let the Israelites pass through their land, King of Sihon sent all his people, because he sent all of his people. We'll also notice in the next passage that Og, the other king, the king of Bashan, he sent all of his people as well. And those were bad choices. The fact that they were able to defeat these unusually tall people, or what we would call sometimes giants, such as Goliath, is that they should know that God's on their side now, right? It should build their confidence as they make their way into the promised land, that God is fighting for them. Verse 31, Thus Israel lived in the land of the Amorites, and Moses sent to spy out Jazer, and they captured its villages and dispossessed the Amorites who were there. Then they turned and went up by way to Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, came out against them, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. But the Lord said to Moses, Do not fear him, for I have given him into your hand, and all his people, and his land. You shall do to him as you did to Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived at Heshbon. So they defeated him and his sons and all his people until he had no survivor left, and they possessed his land. So we see another king making the same mistake, one, in attacking Israel in the first place, and two, by sending all of their people. They left nobody back to defend the cities. Notice verse 34, past tense. Even though the battle has not started yet, verse 34 says, Do not fear him, for I have given him into your hand. That's past tense, but the battle hasn't started yet. So how do we reconcile that? God is not restrained by time like we are. So once he declares a matter to be settled, it is settled. Alistair Begg likes to say it like this. He says, as a result of grace, we have been saved, past tense, we have been saved from sin's penalty, are being saved from sin's power. One day, future tense, we will be saved from sin's presence.